Hey, welcome in. Well, Basecamp, you were so close. You were so close to freeing yourself from the woke lunacy. All you had to do was just take one more step, and it would have been gone. Completely gone. But of course, you folded. You folded, and you will regret it. Because there is no satisfying these people. They're never going to be happy. What is wokeness? Wokeness is an obsession with purity. It is a predatory puritanism. It can never be satiated. It can never be satisfied. It has to find more. That's what keeps it alive. It needs to find sin. It needs to find heretics. It needs to find all of the isms. And it will never stop because it will never be full. Anyway, here's the headline. Basecamp folds on non-woke workplace policy. Suspends exec after employee cries. Yes, because that's good. You want all your employees crying all the time at work because they're upset about something. Something that maybe it's real, maybe they imagined it, who knows. Maybe you should just be an adult, right? I learned how to deal with things, learn how to deal with people disagreeing with you. But no, an employee cried and that's it. It's all over. Let's fold. Oh no, somebody's crying. An adult is crying about something. Right? I guess we better just fold. Anyway, so what's going on? Days after banning politics from the workplace to keep employees focused on their mission rather than distracted by wokeness, software firm Basecamp appears to have reversed course, suspending its chief strategist after he said he does not believe the company is white supremacist. It reads like satire, but it's real life. Anyway, and after employees reportedly cried and screamed, because that's what adults do when they're not getting their way. They cry and scream. Oh, wait a second, that's children. Sorry, got confused there for a second. Just going to interrupt for 1 second to say, if you like this content, subscribe so you can see more. Thanks a lot. Let's see. He's been suspended. The chief strategist has been suspended because he does not believe the company Basecamp is white supremacist. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, no wonder those employees cried and screamed, probably kicked their legs too, right? Maybe they threw some stuff. This is real now. This is what's actually happening in the world. This is a company, a very successful company, which I guess isn't really interested in staying successful. But this is them bending their will because employees cried and screamed. Again, I don't have confirmation on the kicking their feet, kicking their legs out, I don't know, or throwing things, but yeah, you can imagine. Anyway, for a few glittering moments, it looked like Basecamp could be a new model for companies. That's why this is disappointing. Because you keep thinking, well, there's some spark of hope, that people will wake up. That suddenly the tide will turn and we won't have to have our entire lives, the entire world, or at least our countries run by people who get what they want by crying and screaming. But I guess we're going to have to wait a little longer. But anyway, just in case you didn't know what Basecamp does, they make project management, team communication, and email software. That's what they do. How did they get into this trouble, by the way? Well, in December, a new hire volunteered to help the company work on diversity issues. Their first mistake. If you've got a company and it's not woke yet, and one of your new hires volunteers to help the company work on diversity issues, decline that and look for a way to get rid of them as soon as you can, because whatever you hired them for, they fully intend that their new job is going to be diversity issues. That's what you're going to be paying them for. To basically create division and make life hell for everybody who doesn't agree with them, which is probably not good for productivity anyway. So you have this volunteer, this new hire who volunteered for diversity issues, and then what happened? The Chicago-based software company became subsumed by drama from employees talking about racial oppression and other unrelated political issues at work. Let's see. And then the founder said no more societal and political discussions in the workplace, because that's not what they were hired to do. This should just be understood, right? You weren't hired to do that. You can do that in your free time, but that's not good enough anymore. Now they want to be paid to do it. It's a major distraction, apparently so. It saps our energy and redirects our dialogue towards dark places, CEO Jason Fried wrote. And what about, because a third of the company quit over this, right? What about the other 2/3? Are they people who just want to just do their job and keep their politics to themselves and maybe not be, forced into, some inquisition by volunteers at the company? I don't know. Maybe. So anyway, it looked like things were maybe going in the right direction for this company. Fried was determined to cultivate a calm workplace, and he was firm about the new policy, even allowing employees to take buyouts if they didn't like it. That seems fair. When employees likened a list of funny names to, of course, genocide, because everything's genocide, another co-founder said they were catastrophizing, which is what they were doing, and that such hyperbole made rational conversation impossible. So the list they're talking about was a list of customers' funny names, the funniest names of customers, which is entirely harmless, and it's just a bit of levity. It's a bit of catharsis for the employees. It's perfectly normal. It's not a terrible thing. But this was what the volunteer immediately set their sights on, right? Because they're looking for something. Because that's how you get points now, right? Is criticizing other people for imaginary crimes. So they're going to find something. So anyway, big mistake. So anyway, it seemed like they were on the right track. And then on a Friday video conference, Fried apologized to employees for not informing them of the changes before posting them to a public blog. And activist employees, so you don't want those. You don't want activist employees. You just want employees. Anyway, they smelled blood in the water. They unleashed a torrent of criticism against the company and its purported oppression. So doubtless Basecamp was just quietly going about the business of, genocide, I guess, right? And white supremacy, just behind the scenes. Anyway, so what happened in this meeting? After 90 minutes, one senior employee, Chief Strategist Ryan Singer, expressed a different opinion, saying, quote, "I strongly disagree that we live in a white supremacist culture." Uh-oh, that's spicy. It's totally sane. But, it's current year, so, quote, "If you express a dissenting view, you get called a Nazi. I have not felt this is open territory for discussion. If we were trying to get into it as a group discussion, it would be very painful and divisive." That's right. Fried, the CEO, moved on to the next speaker saying, "Thank you, Ryan." So he moved on, and the activists were not having this. So then one of the activist employees said, "The fact that you can be a white male and come to this meeting and call people racist and say white supremacy doesn't exist when it's blatant at this company is white privilege," the employee said. So the white supremacy is blatant at the company. What do you think it really is, right? But I think maybe you have to get into the head of the activists. They think that everything is white supremacy. So capitalism, certainly, they think is white supremacy. So just by existing, this company is white supremacist. In their minds, that's the logic that they're using, right? Now, it's childish, and it just leads to all of this circular logic, right? And it's very religious. It's very kind of cult-like. And that's why these people do seem like children, right? They don't seem capable of reason and rationality because they don't need it. Let's see. Anyway, it went on. "The fact that he wasn't corrected and was in fact thanked, it makes me sick." And in the article here, it notes that Basecamp employees mostly work their white-collar jobs from home. So I don't know. Maybe they have a white supremacist email server or something, right? But in any case, this is what you get when you let the crazies into your company. Anyway, this chief strategist, he wasn't backing down. He says, "I stand by it. I am very sure I don't treat people in a racist way. If you want to debate whether white supremacy exists anywhere, then yeah, but not here at this company, not with the people I associate with." And what was the response to this from the activists? "This is fucking bullshit. You are being ridiculous," an employee said, and demanded that Fried denounce white supremacy. Oh, God. I'm telling you, they want you on your knees. Do they think that he's a white supremacist? I guess maybe in their logic they think that, right? Maybe in their weird logic where just everything is. And, it seems to work for them. I mean, it's working for them here, right? They just say the magic words. It's like a magic spell, right? They just say it, and then everybody has to agree with them, or at least take them seriously. Let's see. It states here that 2 employees had found themselves crying and screaming at the screen. Always the sign of a healthy psychological disposition, right? Let's see. The silence in the background is what racism and white supremacy does. Okay, yeah, sure. Hey, sure. Everything is that. Everything is that. They literally have nothing else. They have nothing else, and it still works. Again, it's like some sort of magic spell that they can just cast on the culture. It's incredible. Anyway, a half hour after the meeting ended, Freed posted an internal note saying that Singer has been suspended pending an investigation. He added that the company was bringing an unspecified outside help to address the situation. Well, I wonder what that outside help is going to be. Is it going to be like, I don't know, Robin DiAngelo or something? Well, we know what she's going to say. She's going to say that everything's racist. But here we go. So what reward did they get for crying and screaming? Well, they got the chief strategist suspended pending an investigation, during which they're going to bring in a woke lunatic to give them terrible advice and come to terrible conclusions. And probably guessing that this was going to happen, Singer resigned from the company. So I guess crying and screaming works. But let's end it off with this sentence here. But as important as it was for Basecamp employees to be able to express their political views at work, the same apparently did not hold true for Singer. So it only goes one way, and this sums it up all right here. I mean, if he had cried and screamed, maybe he'd still have his job. Who knows? Apparently it works. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe, like, and share. That really helps me out. If you'd just like to listen, there's the podcast, Radio Baloney. It's on pretty much every platform. If you look for it, you will find it. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.